Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a minute since my last video, and this one I want to go through the best junglers for patch 25.16 and show you some of the craziest picks we have, like Naafiri jungle. And what about Saleh jungle? Is he back, or after his great Manas build was fixed, he's useless, or how good is he? We're gonna go through all these things and explain who is the best jungler right now and who should you play and who should you avoid. Let's start it with Amumu. I will go in order through all these champs and explain my thought process. Starting with Amumu, definitely, once again, this tier list is for those who are below Diamond, preferably below Emerald as well. But even if you are in Emerald, you will find great success with these champions. But anyway, Amumu, as always, an amazing jungler, and I can only recommend this guy for anyone who is looking to climb really fast and learn the game, learn the fundamentals, and become a great player in the jungle role. Moving on, next will be Belvat, and I think she deserves A tier. She deserves A tier, not much to say. She's pretty straightforward champion and not that hard, but she's really good at solo carrying, while not as good as someone like Amumu, because she doesn't bring that much utility and you still have to have a solid understanding of the game in order to perform on her. But overall, she is pretty good and I highly recommend playing her right now. Next will be Brand, and I think he deserves A+, or maybe bottom of the S tier, but he's good, he's solid and definitely worth playing. The old determination he once had, and when he used to be super broken, is back. His Q stun duration being increased is crazy, and ult duration, ult cooldown being reduced was also really good. So it definitely helped him a lot. Next will be Briar, and as always, this champion, unless Riot is looking to nerf her, which I don't think they are going to do for a while now, she remains in S+ tier, or at least S tier, but in my opinion, she is broken and definitely worth playing if you're looking for a Warwick alternative with a lot of sustain. Next will be the Queen Diana. She probably deserves A tier. I don't think she is doing that well as some of the other champions in front of her, but she's still super solid, one of the fastest clears in the entire game. So definitely master that first full clear. Make sure it's below 3 minutes 30. If you can get to 3 minutes 20, even though she can do the full clear much faster than that, but if you get your full clear consistently below 3 minutes 20, then you are good to go on this champ and you will find a lot of success on her. Next will be Mundo, and this guy deserves A tier. He's nothing too crazy of a champion, he's just Mundo and does Mundo things, but he's a solid tank if you're looking for one. So next is Echo, and I think he deserves A tier, maybe even S tier. I would say they would have to buff Lich Bane one more time in order to really break this champion and make him a broken jungler. But I don't think it's that healthy for the game whenever Echo is broken. Like, mid laners hate it when Echo is broken, and I don't think junglers have that much fun against Echo, because he can take over games very easily. If you're gonna one-trick this champion, then you're gonna have an easy time, or like a pretty good time, climbing with him. Same goes for Alice, and probably that's why I will place her into A tier. Maybe she deserves B tier for the lower ranks, because after all, she's quite hard. Definitely not as good as people consider, unless you go to one-trick her. So actually I'm gonna place her into B tier for now. If you are in Emerald and above, then definitely she goes up into A or even S tier. But for the most people, probably stays in B tier. And the next champion who deserves B tier at best will be Evelynn. I don't think she deserves anything higher than that. Overall, not the AP jungler you want to play in this meta. Next will be Fiddle. I always say that this guy is crazy good. If you like the playstyle, if you like it how unique he is, and you're willing to master his clear, and you're willing to master how to gank and how to ult from Fog of War, he's crazy good and highly recommended pick. Next will be Gragas, and I think he deserves C tier actually. I don't recommend him for the lower ranks. He's just not great, and you better off playing something else really than this guy. Graves, my boy, probably gonna place him in B tier simply because he's not having a lot of fun, and because we are aiming for a tier list for the lower ranks, he's just not there. He doesn't offer much besides CC. He doesn't offer much, only damage, and his clear is not that great compared to other junglers. Like, compare the clear speed and compare how easy it is to full clear with something like Diana, Brand. We're gonna have some solo carry junglers on this list, but unfortunately, Grace is not one of them. He is a solo carry jungler, don't get me wrong, but not for the lower ranks. And this tier list is aimed for the lower ranks, so it is what it is, unfortunately. Gwen jungle though, I think she's better honestly than Graves, but still gonna remain in B tier. And if you're looking to play an AP jungler, then you have way better options, and you will have way better options soon enough when I'm listing every champion. Hecarim, probably a B tier pony, is not doing that well right now. He's average, not too good, not too bad. This is what I can say about the pony. If you love the Hecarim, if you're a Dante's enjoyer, then play him, but you actually have to become really good at the jungle in order to make this guy work and actually solo carry. Next is Ivern, and simply because we are playing in lower ranks, well, unless you have a duo, you can't really expect from your team to solo carry you or even to carry you, even though you're trying to support them and such. So probably deserves B tier, but overall I would say he's a pretty good champ, and the higher you go in ranks, the better he becomes, even A tier or even S tier maybe. Jarvan is definitely S tier. He's not S plus tier anymore after his nerfs, but still amazing jungler and definitely deserves this spot. So if you played Jarvan jungle before, then you have no reason to stop it, and you should still play him as much as you can until he gets nerfed further. Jack jungle though is A tier probably. He's nothing crazy either. I would recommend playing this guy whenever enemy is locking in mastery or someone who is heavy at, or against teams who are auto-attacking a lot. In that case, he is perfect, but otherwise I wouldn't really recommend this guy to blind pick him all the time. He's not like a blind pickable champion in my opinion, but you can play him if you want to. Cartus goes to B tier, hard champion, not that great. You have way better AP jungler options right now. Deserves B tier at best in my eyes. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if he doesn't agree. Next is Kayn, and Kayn deserves A tier. Rust definitely deserves A tier. Probably Blue Kayn deserves like B tier at best. So if you're playing in the lower rank, just abuse the hell out of Rust and enjoy your free LP. Next is the bug Kha'Zix. If you master this guy, as you should, like, he's a typical 1v9 carry jungler, but only if you actually one-trick this champion. So I highly recommend one-tricking Kha'Zix if you're one of those guys who enjoys being a one-trick, and perhaps you're looking for a new main or you are not sure who to one-trick, then he's your guy. Kindred, on the other hand, I can place her in the same tier as Kha'Zix because simply she's losing really hard to Kha'Zix and she's super hard. I am not saying even compared to Kha'Zix because Kha'Zix is hard on its own, but Kindred is probably slightly harder, and I won't recommend her in the lower ranks. Like I said, the other champion who goes into B tier is obviously Lee Sin because his kit is super hard, he's a fighter, he's good and strong, and for the high ranks, he's definitely really good right now. Lydia, on the other hand, will be A tier for sure in my eyes. The deer is super good, super chill, fast clear, good itemization, good team fighting. Just look to hit several people with that E, look to kite them, master kiting, practice it on your camps while you are farming your jungle, and put the wall enemy team on the strip, and you are good to go. You will be carrying. Maokai, the tree, let's put him into C tier. I definitely don't recommend this guy. You should avoid him and not play him at all. Master Yi, on the other hand, will be S tier. You're gonna have a fun time because this champion is actually pretty good right now, and I highly recommend picking him as well. Next will be Mordekaiser Jungler. I always say this by Rifemaker, by Rylai on this guy. Try him with Ghost as well. You don't have to, but give that a shot, and you will have a fun time. If you're looking to play some AP Bruiser, you are looking for an AP alternative, but you don't like the average mage jungle champions, then you're gonna have Mordekaiser. Morgana jungle, I'm not even sure why I have her here, but it deserves C tier. Not that great, and you shouldn't play her either. I'm having a hard time deciding where to put Naafiri. I'm considering B or C tier. Probably deserves C tier, and I no longer recommend this guy in the jungle. So you're better avoiding her. Nico Jungler remain here by accident as well. Another C tier champion, not much to talk about. And Nidalee Jungle for the lower ranks will be C tier as well. Someone else who won't be C tier anymore, instead will be S plus in my eyes, will be Nocturne Jungle. Really good kit, really good itemization. Just look to full clear, get to level 6 as soon as you can, and you can easily decide any game in the first 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. You can always decide any game and snowball really hard, but don't get too cocky when it comes to teamfight phase, because what I see a lot of Nocturne do is they get fed early on, then teamfight phase comes in, they think they are unstoppable, they go in 1v5 and they just die and throw off their lead, and they end up losing the game. Talking about snowballing, probably A tier at best, great at taking objectives, really good ganks, and you want to have a jungler with solid ganks if you're playing in lower ranks, and this guy is perfect for that. If you enjoy snowballing, if you enjoy the Yeti, then definitely keep playing him. Olaf Jungle will be A tier. We haven't seen him here at this spot for a while now, but I think he deserves this spot. So he maybe deserves B tier, and probably I'm gonna put him down in the B tier, thinking more about this guy, simply because he doesn't offer much. He's a straightforward champion, and if you fall behind, which is very common from bad pathing and bad decision making, he is just a useless champion. But when he gets rolling, he's actually amazing. Not amazing to the point where he's S tier or so, but B to A tier easily deserves that spot. One Town Jungler goes into A tier. I've been hating on this champion for a while now, because why would you want to play this champion since he doesn't offer much? He falls off late, and most of the games in the lower ranks are long, but he's a bruiser and solid in a 1v1. And after all, he has a global ultimate as well. So definitely not as good as someone like Nocturne. But when Nocturne is available, I see no point playing Pantheon. But if you are someone who enjoys Pantheon more, then you can play this guy as well. And deserves A tier. Poppy, A tier, whenever there are a lot of champions who are jumping around and such. And we kind of have that meta right now. So in those scenarios, she can be easily S tier if you're facing someone like Jarvan, facing Briar, Amumu, and some other champions who are looking to jump on you and jump on your team, then probably she is S tier. Otherwise, she's a solid rank. You have really good build variety as well. Another champion we haven't seen in a while, at least not in a decent spot, will be Qiyana Jungle, and I'm gonna place her just because I'm considering people from the lowest ranks as well in B tier. But if you are someone from Plat, Emerald, or Diamond even, then Qiyana definitely deserves like A tier. But the biggest problem with her is that she's another 1v9 carry jungler only if you actually know how to play her and you if you only are looking and if you are looking to master her. In that case, sure, she is really good, really strong. Otherwise, don't bother. If you are not looking to one-trick this guy, if you are not looking to one-trick her, then don't even bother picking her up. Ramus is Oak A tier, still pretty good. And I can highly recommend this guy whenever you're facing a team who deals a lot of damage and your team needs a front line, then he becomes really solid. And if you enjoy him, enjoy his playstyle, he is a valid tank alternative. But the Queen of the Jungle is back in the A tier. Like I said, the buff she got in this patch definitely helped her, and finally Riot did a good job buffing her. She's good, and I can only recommend playing her if you are looking for a jungler who can do a lot early on. Briar goes to C tier, garbage as champion, don't even touch this guy. Rumble, I'm not sure why I even have him here, but goes into C tier as well. Sejuani, I'm considering putting her into B tier, but honestly, most likely she deserves B tier or C even. It's hard to decide. She's not good at anything really. Maybe I would place her into B tier simply because at least she offers some value and she's not as trash as some other picks on this list. I have to play Shaco as well somewhere, and I wouldn't say that Shaco is worse than Sejuani, so it's kind of weird to put them in the same tier. But Shaco jungle, another one-trick champion. If you're not looking to one-trick this guy, then don't even bother. Shyvana jungle though is S tier in my eyes. Really fast clear, you can snake dragons away very easily. Deserves a really high spot. Skarner, definitely better than Shaco or Sejuani. Average tank doesn't offer that much anymore as she used to, but still pretty solid pick, just not good at anything really. Stylish jungle though, after Riot managed to fix his bugs and you are not supposed to go crit items on this guy anymore, and now that he works again, I would say even for the low ranks he's at least A tier. Talia jungle, I would put her slightly ahead of the others, but she's really hard to pull off. And if you want to play an AP champion, you better be playing someone else from this list, even Silas jungle. But if you're looking for a true mage, then, well, you can give a shot to Talia as well. Talon jungle will be, in some cases, like a budget Kha'Zix in my eyes, even though he is healthy jungler. He's a healthy jungler in my opinion, and he can do a lot. I used to love this champ and played him a lot in the jungle. So if you are looking for an assassin, even in this meta, while being fairly tanky because of your build variety, then Talon is your alternative to Kha'Zix in case Kha'Zix is banned, for example. Captain Teemo goes into B tier. In my eyes, this guy is still a meme, not really a jungler, but if you're looking to have some fun with Teemo, then feel free to play this guy. Thunder jungle though is still, well, I'm not sure if it's S plus tier anymore, probably S tier, but still deserves a really high spot on this list, even after the latest nerfs, and he can then just roll around and carry games easily. So the troll guy is still really good. Then Udyr, I will place this guy in A tier. I said this many times. What's my problem with Udyr? So I won't repeat myself. In my eyes, he's one-dimensional and doesn't deserve a higher spot than A tier for now. Next will be Y, who is definitely better than Udyr in my opinion. Way more fun, way more utility, way more damage. Just overall a well-designed jungler. So I can highly recommend playing Y instead of Udyr. Unless you are into that farming playstyle, then I highly recommend playing someone like Mordekaiser or Lilia perhaps. You should give those champs a try. Even though Riot tried to nerf Viego, they didn't really succeed, and Viego is still a solid champion while he fights to A tier, but that still doesn't mean he's that bad. A tier is still a really solid spot. He's just not a 1v9 dump solo carry champion he used to be. But another brainless champion though, who is straightforward and really crazy, is none other than Volibear, and his AP mix build is still really good. You can watch my video on AP Volibear. I know it was Urf, and Urf is slightly different than how a champion works in a normal game, but he can pull off the same thing with slightly increased cooldown compared to an Urf, but he has the same absurd amount of healing with his AP build, and you can look to get Cosmic Drive on this champ and Naafiri into Spirit Visage and such, or you can try Rod of Ages into Naafiri and Spirit Visage, which can be even better. But if you are going for Rod of Ages build, then look to farm way more early on and just look to full clear, get your clear on point before 3 minutes 30. The Dagger, on the other hand, is absurd. This guy is still really, really good. Like I said, they tried to nerf him on top lane, which they succeeded, but in the jungle, this won't affect him, even though some people thought it will, or it might, but that's not the case as plus tier for most ranks. The Monkey King gonna stay in the S tier as well, really good champion. Not much to say about him either. If you are into Bruisers and for some reason you don't like Briar, Warwick, Jarvan, Trundle, Volibear, Nocturne, you name it, then you have the Monkey King. And Riot, even though decided to nerf Xin Zhao as well, I don't think that stops him from being in S tier. Maybe he's now closer into A tier, but I don't think he fell enough in strength to actually place him in A tier. Not yet, at least. Zac Jungle, actually, I'm gonna place him right here. He is definitely better for the most ranks than any of the other champions in B tier. So I would say he even probably deserves A tier. So he's really fun and really good as well. Zac Jungle is still garbage and don't even look to play this champion, so just avoid Zac Jungle if you can. Zyra Jungle will go into A tier, probably close to S tier soon enough. If Riot gonna keep nerfing some of the champions from S tier, or maybe she gets another buff soon, then she will be S tier. But for now, she will stay in A tier. If you enjoy a mage, or if you have been playing Zyra support and you want to play jungle as well, then feel free to do so, because she is excellent. Darius Jungle though will be B tier. He's not broken anymore as he used to be, but still deserves B tier, and I recommend him if you are a top main and looking to play a jungler, then sure, feel free to pick him up, but otherwise I wouldn't bother playing him. But what about Nautilus Jungle? Nautilus Jungle is A tier and definitely deserves this spot after the recent buffs from Riot, because they want to make Nautilus Jungle a thing for some reason, so just take Aftershock in this guy and go with Leandria and Sunfire. You're gonna have a fun time in jungle. You're gonna have a surprisingly high amount of damage, but the amount of CC you offer, this is just the perfect low elo jungle alongside Amumu, Briar, Nocturne, Volibear, you name it. If you are not looking to be the 1v9 carry but still having a high impact on the game, then Nautilus is your guy. This wraps up my tier list. I think this will be the 25.16 patch from a jungle perspective for those who are below Diamond. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this format, what do you think about this tier list. I hope you have a good one and see you all in my next video. Feel free to like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Also join my Discord server in case you are looking to be part of a shared community. See you all in the next video. Peace.